Hey everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I am Peter, that is Connor, and we are going to talk about Iron Fist Season 1, Episode 4. It's called 8 Diagram Dragon Pam. Full spoilers for the episode, as always. And I feel like most shows I can just remember the title, and I don't have to look at
this one you
anything.
have to actually check as
This
you're saying
one,
it.
yeah, this one every single time you can see my eyes going over here to look at it, because I'm not going to remember that. You already said to me before we started recording you thought this was quote unquote your favourite of the four so far.
It's a pretty low bar, admittedly.
uh, I will kind of agree and say that it is the best episode so far. I don't think it's saying much, and I still have a lot of issues with it. In fact, I really realised in this episode what I think the biggest problem is with this show. There's a lot of problems with it. There's the fight scenes aren't very good. There's a lot of things with it. The writing being poor. But the biggest problem with the writing, and I think the biggest thing that's making it really hard to get invested or give a shit about what's going on, is Danny's character has very little purpose or aim. What is he actually trying to achieve? And it was really sticking because in this episode, so he meets Harold towards the start after he wakes up after falling off the ledge and landing on.
Can I just say how
bigger ledge.
annoying that was? Because so he grabs the ledge. Cool,
Well,
fine.
he doesn't grab a ledge. He grabs like a beam
a
thing.
bar. Yeah. Okay, and he goes to drop onto the ledge, and it doesn't look like it's that far a drop from the bar to the ledge at this point.
It doesn't.
He kind of just goes right out from it. It's like, really? I didn't think it was that bad a drop by the look of it.
I'm not that fussed about that so much. I'm more fussed about how he doesn't really seem to, beyond the initial anger, he just seems to forget about it and not even mention it with Ward again for the rest of the episode. Call me crazy, but if someone pushed me out of a window and tried to kill me, I would be a little bit more...
I agree, but to be fair, Ward's not wrong when he went, you tried to break into my place. Yes, I'm going to kick you out a window.
No.
What? Oh, you're telling me if you lived 80 floors up and someone tried climbing through your window, you wouldn't kick them to go, get out of my house?
Okay, first of all, the chances of someone coming in your window when you're 80 floors up is extremely unlikely.
All right, even 2 or 3 floors up then, fine. Which is...
Like, I don't care if he's justified. You wouldn't be acting normal around him. Like, sure, there's the initial anger, but for the rest of the episode, it doesn't even pretend like that's happened. It's weird.
Yeah.
You would act weird around him. You'd be uncomfortable. You'd be like, you pushed me out of a goddamn window. You would have killed me had I not used my kung fu grip to not fall to my death.
Kung fu grip? No, he grabbed onto a beam, mate. Let's not overdo this.
Kung fu grip. So yeah, he meets Harold, and Harold is like, yes, I was diagnosed with cancer, I was dying, and then this group of people who I've only just recently, through you, learned they're called the Hand. He seemed to not know that. At least that's what I got from what he said.
I think he was putting on an act.
Yeah, maybe.
I think he was putting on an act for Danny, going, "Hey, I'm pretending I don't know about any of this, really, but I mean it."
Sure. But so he tells him about the Hand, and and Danny's like, "Oh yeah, I'm like the sworn enemy of them. Like I'm supposed to."
He goes, "Wait, they're real?
They're here? Oh, is this a coincidence that I finally get out of Kunlun and I was trained
doesn't he say like that they were just like boogeymen in Kunlun, that they weren't? He never thought he was going to actually have to fight them.
Oh yeah, but he's like, I'm the sworn enemy of them, and I'm supposed to stop them. And then later on, when he's talking to Joy in his apartment, she's like, "Oh, so what are you going to do now? What was going to happen?" He's like, "Oh, I really don't know." He has no purpose. He's like trying to. It's not even like he has a purpose to find himself. He's just kind of wandering around and meeting people that he used to know, and it's frustrating. There's no sense of direction or goal. It's just kind of...
There's not. It's kind of just he's a all-around good guy, but to what end? I mean, there is a scene here where he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm a good guy. Look how good I am."
Like, sure, he wanted to come home. He got home. That's fine. But now that he's home... Is a story that is going to take place over 13 episodes. We're now 4 in. I have no idea what his motivation is.
It was like, okay, he had to prove who he was. Okay, he went about it a stupid way, but I can accept that's a goal. He wanted to reclaim his company, his right. Okay, maybe not the most noble of goals because it's still kind of ultimately selfish, but It's his. It's a goal. He's done those now. Now he's just waiting for something to happen.
But here's the thing. Those two previous goals, I don't feel like. I feel like they were only goals because they presented themselves as problems once he was back. They weren't really. They were detours. Like had this been anyone else, they were detours on the way to his ultimate goal. But I have no idea what his ultimate goal is. He doesn't seem to have one.
No, he is literally waiting around for something to happen at this point.
He is. And luckily enough, Triads show up at his front door and try and kidnap Joy, so it gives him something to do this episode.
Kind of like this fight, though. Again, it's the close angle, the close corners, in the corridor. It's the same thing I was saying in the hospital. They hide so much of it that it kind of gets away with it. I'm not sure it's good compared to other shows, but compared to everything else of its own fights, it feels like it had movement because it's forced to cut around.
I wasn't feeling it. I'm gonna lie. I didn't like the fight that much. The only part of the fight I liked is when one guy jumped up and he kicked his foot and the guy just kind of fell on his face. That was a cool little move.
Yeah, I think it's just I'm really digging the music in the fights. I think it's fantastic, and it's really giving me the music giving the energy that the visuals aren't.
It doesn't matter. Like the music is a great aid. Don't get me wrong. But it's not when something like fighting is supposed to be kind of visceral. It doesn't disguise the fact that it feels very feels too thought out. As strange as that sounds, like I can see them thinking and doing the moves and.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
This is the next part. It feels more like a dance they've practiced. And fighting in movies and stuff like that is always something they've practiced like a dance. That's what choreography is.
I guess in its defense, martial arts kind of is a dance in a sense where
piss off, go watch The Raid and you come back and tell me.
I'm not saying it. No, okay, I'm just saying in general martial arts you learn moves, so you learn set sequences.
Well, you do, but
patterns.
it shouldn't look like that in a fight. There should be feeling in a fight.
That should, yeah.
And this is escaping the fact that it's just so goddamn random that Triad shop at his door.
That was just weird. I thought they were the Hand at first
because the doorbell rings and it's Triads, and here's the thing. It's Triads who are there to kidnap Joy.
I love how they ring the doorbell.
But how
they got hatchets. They don't just go at the door with the hatchets.
I guess they were following her, and that's why they knew she was there. But it just felt random that they went to his house to kidnap her. Why not get her when she's on her own at her house? That just seems to make more sense to me. But
was it his house?
Yeah, that was his apartment. That's where he's been put up.
All right. I don't think I realized that was his place.
Yeah, that's his place because she's in his old place, which is not high up. Because he's looking at he's in a tall building, his apartment, and she's just on the sort of.
Yeah, you're right.
She's got a house that's a couple of floors. Yeah. Right, so we had random Triads, and they literally just randomly show up out of nowhere.
Yes.
We don't,
there's no build up to this.
This is the thing. When they show up and we find out it's because, we wanted that pier. We didn't know that beforehand. There was no mention that anyone ever even wanted the pier before this. It's just all of a sudden, there's Triads. Why is there Triads? Oh, we wanted the pier that you took up from under us.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just weird.
Really weird. Especially since this has nothing to do with Danny. Like, this would have happened if he wasn't here, because...
Can I... I've just been thinking now that I mentioned Daredevil as well. So, Gao was in Daredevil season 1.
Mm-hmm.
Before we had any mention of the Hand. And she was like, nah... she went off and did her own thing.
Wait a minute. There was mention of the Hand in season 1.
But with her?
Not with her, but there was the Hand in season 1. They mentioned it.
Right, okay. But she didn't seem like she had anything to do with it. She was separate from that. It was the impression in there. Because she was doing her own business.
Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily mean she's not.
See, this is why it's weird, though, because she left because she was like, nah, Fisk, you're doing your own thing, right? I don't trust you. But then Fisk had Nobu with the Hand, and that's where they came from. It's like, well, are the Hand with Fisk or against Fisk? Because this is murkying it up for me.
Well, this is us assuming it's Gao, though, that we're seeing, because she's only been in shadow so far.
It is. We're assuming that, but it kind of sounded like it. And Gao had, obviously, at the end of this episode, we get the symbol that was, the serpent. That was Gao's symbol on all her drugs, which is why I'm making this link.
Well, I don't think that's that murky, though. To me, they're treating the Hand like Hydra, and they're just like, they've infiltrated things and all that. To me, that's maybe what that is. Like, She's with the Hand, but she's actually got a place in the sort of criminal underworld with everyone else.
Right. Okay.
The Hand give Harold a reward for taking care of things. So they take him across the street from where Joy lives, and so he can see her. And it's the first time he's seen her in person in like 15 years.
He didn't
12
really
years.
do anything though, did he? Because kind of Joy got the peer.
Yeah. Yeah, but he's pulling the strings, you see. So
Yeah, but he didn't really. He sat in a room and he went, "Hey Ward, go tell Joy to buy this peer." Then Joy went and bought the peer, and she put herself at risk. You know, it's her name on all this.
what do you want from me?
I think the Hand deserves it. Should we reward the right people?
Yeah, but the right people aren't supposed to know they exist.
I know. I'm just gonna complain at this.
But he sees she's got a black eye or whatever, and
Yeah, she's like got like putting ice on her
Yeah.
face, isn't she?
because and he's like, all right, I've got one more thing I need a favor for, and the Hand with mass all over their faces shop at the Triads and ask who's responsible for hitting her. The guy steps forward and surprise, surprise, gets killed. And when we go outside, the guy who killed her takes off the mask, and it was Harold. He killed the guy who hit his daughter.
What a surprise!
Yeah, and here let's go back to the opening scene of this episode, where Harold meets Danny, and Danny's all excited, and they hug, and they share like they're best friends. Danny, even on the way out, notices the punching bag and goes, "Hey, maybe I'll teach you kung fu sometime." Whole episode, like, at no point in that opening scene does Danny think, maybe,
This is a bit weird.
yeah, maybe this is a bit sketchy. Like, maybe, your son did just try to throw him out of a window, and you don't seem to mind that much.
He's very naive, isn't he?
He is naive, and I get this. The defense of that is that he did disappear when he was 10, and arguably he's not developed in the same way, the same rate, because he's not been with the rest of the world. But I don't know. It feels so willing to just accept everything Harold's telling him, as if he is completely trustworthy. There's not a single solitary possibility, even though the other two people he knows, which are Joy and Ward, have done nothing but act against him since he got back.
There's a few times this where he's very childlike in that sense. Obviously, it's a childlike naivety.
Yeah.
And there's where so Ward's given his meeting about the drug.
Well, before we get to that, we need to explain that Danny, like, Harold says to Ward, yeah, don't put any roadblocks in front of him. Like, no, he's half owner of the company, he should be allowed to do whatever he wants, it's his. So they hold a press conference, and Danny's, like, introduced to the world, so he's public now, like, so, no, isn't he, to the public.
Yeah, no more of that bollocks.
Completely finished. And he's happy that he got his dad's office, and his stickers that he used to put on the desk are still in there. And of course, Jerry's just like, "What are you doing? This is weird."
Like, come on, we got work to do.
Yeah. But yeah,
Bloody child.
So he kind of just sneaks into this meeting that's happening, this boardroom meeting where Ward's given this presentation about a new drug that's going to cure a disease. And Danny comes in really awkwardly, like, grabs a chair and moves it around this big oval table so he can sit next to Joy, and the whole thing's
This is what I mean. He's such a child. He can't just sit there. He has to go sit next to his friend.
There's very, very awkward silence throughout the whole thing as everyone's really uncomfortable. And this is really hackneyed to me, because on his first day at the company, there's a meeting about a drug that they're going to sell for a profit. And here's the thing, right? So he's like, no, this is helping people. We should not profit off the suffering of others. We should sell this at a cost. It costs $5 to make a pill. They were going to sell it at $50. But as they point out in this goddamn meeting, that the people who actually need the drugs won't be the ones actually paying for it. It'll be health organisations, and it'll be things like that. Yeah. They say something to that effect.
It's who? Yeah, who? The World Health Organization. Yeah. They're buying the drugs, and they subsidise it and then pass it on to the necessary places.
Yeah, it's not them. And not only that, they specifically say in the scene as well, the profits from this will fund further research for other things, which could then help more people.
Which is what really pissed me off by this. Okay, I get, hey, 5 to 50. That's a 10-time increase. That's a lot. That's a large profit. Maybe we can get it down a bit. Maybe let's go 25, 30. Yeah, come on, work with me, guys.
Yeah. And he puts his foot down. He's like, "Oh no, we can't do this." And Ward, quite rightly, is like, "What? So on your first day, you're going to wave your big dick on the table, your big 51% share dick, That's how Joy says it later, actually, is where I'm getting that phrase from. You've got to put your foot down and draw a line in the sand. And he's like, yes. And naturally, the board members are like, what? There's a profit, blah, blah, blah.
There's not much they can do about it, is there?
And honestly, all I could sit there and think was, I agree with them.
This is the thing. I agree. I agree with Danny that maybe that was a bit high.
Okay, sure, yeah, 50's a bit high, but I actually agree with them. They give valid points as to why this is how this works.
Yeah, like they say that they need their pharmaceutical division to make money because it's not doing that well at the minute, so they're covering the loss.
It's not like a drug dealer where they're waving it in front of the sick person's face and going, "Oh, you're going to raise $1,000 so I can give you this cure."
Yeah, exactly, and like they say, it's for it will fund the department to do other drugs. It's like this is a good thing in the long run. Again, maybe 50 is too high. Maybe he could have talked them down. I'd have appreciated that a bit more if he'd had some awareness of the situation. Gone, yeah, okay. There does need to be some profit. There does need to be some, to fund further development. We're not a charity. We are a business. But can we maybe do a bit more reasonable? Meet in the middle.
But the other thing is, it's just so hackneyed to me that on his first day there's a meeting about this thing that has a clear moral center.
Drug. Yeah,
this moral center that he can make a decision on just happens to be there on his first day. It feels contrived.
Yeah,
it feels contrived, and it really stuck out to me when it happened.
He acts again very childish. It's noble, sure. You want to save lives, give the drug away. Everyone gets that.
But here's the problem, though. It's not just that it's naive, it's that he gets his way. He's the spoiled rich brat who gets his way, and he puts his foot down. And all I can think was, but no, the other people in the room are right. You're wrong. You need to learn right from wrong. And I don't sympathise with you, and that's a problem.
This is, I think, where the problem is. Because he's doing the noble choice of, the noble choice of, oh, well, we're saving lives, like they're doing the right thing. Which unequivocally is the right thing, obviously. Just because of that, we're supposed to ignore all the other factors and go, yeah, of course he's right, and we're supposed to be on his side. But I'm not. They gave me like 4 other reasons in the scene as to why I'm not on his side. It's baffling.
Yep, I don't know. Ward's obviously pissed about it. He goes to the reporter that was trying to ask questions at the press conference and tells her a lot of stuff. So he's print an article about him being a menace in the office, pulling his weight around.
And he's really kind of... Ward's kind of naive in this scene. He gives her all this information about Danny, and then he's like, oh, and she's like, oh, I'm going to go and write this story, obviously. He's like, oh, do you not want to have another drink? She's like, no, this is a job.
And no, I didn't read that like that. I read that as he'd already had a couple of drinks and he was just trying his luck more than anything else. See,
I feel like he'd forgotten that it was an interview. He kind of was playing it informal.
I don't. He was playing it informal, but I took that as he was having. It wasn't naive. He was having an immature kind of fit. He was getting drunk and he was dishing all this information out. And then he was trying his luck because she was attractive, and he was just trying his luck because he thought, I can totally, because I'm a stud, I'm a rich stud, I can have anyone I want. That to me, that's the way that read, rather than him being naive and forgetting that.
See, that's how I kind of thought it was playing. Like he'd lost track that it was an interview, and he thought he was on a date almost.
I never got that impression. I don't think it really matters in the long run, but I didn't get that impression.
Yeah.
So that was episode 4.
You had Danny snap Colleen's finger back in.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. She was doing more cage fighting. She had a 2-on-1 fight where she fought 2 guys, and you know what? At least with her, they're building up a bit of a character where she's got this growing addiction to going out and because there's a scene where she's fighting the dummy. And you can see she's getting agitated, and because she gave our students a lecture because they seen a video of her fighting in the last cage match, and she's like, oh no, I shouldn't have done that, it was hypocritical, it's wrong, it's my Bushido honour is being compromised by this decision, and she's trying not to, but it's like a drug to her because she's trying to just do okay with the dummy, and she's like, this isn't the same thing, I need to go out and have an actual fight.
It's that plus the fact that she does need the money, but her code of honor is unwilling to let her accept it just for free from Danny. So it's like, well, I could get the money out of it as well as the fight.
See, that's a character with like proper flaws.
Yeah, it's like she doesn't want to do it, but she is. She kind of feels like she has to, and
And
it's something for her to overcome in the long run.
the thing is, like, okay, you can argue Danny has flaws because he's naive, but then I'm saying, but it's hard to treat them like a regular flaw because you almost have to treat him like he is actually a 10-year-old. You can't look at a child and go, you're flawed because you're not grown up yet. Like,
Yeah,
you're supposed to learn. But it feels like he's not going to learn because he just keeps getting his way.
like a spoiled 10-year-old.
Like a spoiled 10-year-old. And that's kind of a problem. But ultimately, the problem I have with the show kind of aligns with the problem I have with the characters. End of episode 4. What was the point of the season? Where are we going? What's the story of the season? Because, by the way, there was a teaser trailer for the Defenders, and it did heavily imply the Hand was going to be the villain in that. So he's not defeating them this season. So where are we going? What's the point?
My excitement for Defenders just dropped.
I feel like by the end of episode 4, like, first couple episodes of Daredevil, it's about Daredevil versus Kingpin. You get that very early on. First episode of Jessica Jones, it's Daredevil versus the Purple Man.
Jessica Jones was the purple one.
What did I say?
Daredevil versus the purple man.
It's been a long day, people. Yeah, it's about Jessica Jones versus the Purple Man. Luke Cage, you get the whole Cottonmouth, and you get the community and
Yeah,
the
and
corruption.
the idea of him, his whole story was accepting that he has to be a hero,
Yeah, he was the
which you
reluctant
got
hero.
by the end of the first episode.
Yeah,
That was the season arc.
4 episodes into this, I still don't know what this is about.
We're a third through,
I don't
give
know
or
what
take.
this is really about. And yeah, it's about him coming home, and yeah, okay, he's home. What's it about? What's
I
it
feel
about
like,
now?
do you know what, this is the thing. I'm going to make we haven't done it in a few episodes. Compared to Arrow, season 1,
Okay.
there was a few episodes at the start that were about him coming back and adjusting to life again.
Yeah, but even in episode 1, he's got a mission. He's back to do something.
Exactly. That was it. Yes, there was adjusting. Yes, there was coming home and rediscovering people and who he is here, his place in the world. But he had an aim. He was very proactive in what he was doing the whole time, which was immensely more compelling just based on that alone.
Yeah, Danny in this is mostly reactionary. He just reacts to things that are happening around him. And when the Hand does get brought up, which he's supposed to be the living weapon to fight against, he is like, so they're in New York. Oh, I didn't expect that. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do something about that.
Yeah. I did like seeing the tattoo at the end because it's the first time we've actually seen it.
Yeah,
in the
do you
show.
know what's funny about it though? Is I didn't realise it was the first time we'd seen it until the camera lingered on it for so long and the music built up. I was like, oh, I guess this is the first time we've seen it because it's making a moment out of it.
Yeah. No, I thought that was pretty cool. Not like in it, so it wasn't necessarily did anything special, but it was like the first, when he uses his power for the first time, it's like that's pretty cool. That's nice. But
Sure, I don't know. I'm so. I mean, I guess it's better than the last couple, just purely for the reason that it did have some fight scenes and it did have someone in jeopardy. But the whole triads coming for Joy just felt ham-fisted. I suppose we should talk about Joy a little bit. Joy seems to be more on the sympathetic side now. Certainly,
yeah, it's locked her in there for now.
yeah, because she meets up with Colleen. They have some moments, and she's teaching her how to punch the dummy and whatnot.
Yeah,
That's fine.
she doesn't really have that much to do in this episode, to be honest, other than get captured.
God damn it, boardroom meeting, they're talking about making money off a drug. Danny's there, Ward's there. Ward's like, Danny, you sure you want to put your line in the sand on your first day? And Danny's like, bitch, you threw me through a window last night.
Maybe that's what that was all about. It wasn't about the moral high ground the whole time. It was like, you threw me through a goddamn window. I'm having some fun with it.
But this is a problem. Like every single scene with them at the office the next day, it didn't feel like Danny was like, oh, you threw me off a window.
He was not holding a grudge at all, was he?
No. And this is the thing. Okay, you argue he's naive. He's like a 10-year-old. You know what? See, when you're a kid and someone hurts you in some way, you do one of two things. You won't think about it, but instinctively you will do one of two things. You will either hit back, you will act out aggressively, or you will hide. You will run and you will hide, and you will be scared of that person. An animal.
Just neither here.
My cats. So my cats hear
If
a
I
loud
come
noise.
over and kick his cat,
They'll hide from you every time you come near them. They'll run
Yeah.
every single time because
That or they'll just scratch me.
they'll recognize you as a threat. I hope they scratch you. I'm trying to train them to attack gingers. It's not going super well yet, but
But
I'll get there.
would they attack their brother?
One of them does actually on a fairly regular occasion. But like, you react in one of two ways. On a pure child instinct level, you would do one of those two things. You would either hide and treat them as a threat, or you would attack them and get aggressive because they're a threat. He does.
He just kind of he goes all into his wisdom that he spouts every so often. He's like, it's better to just let it go and go with the flow.
Goddamn hippie.
He is a bit of a hippie, isn't he?
Goddamn hippie. Alright, that's episode 4 of Iron Fist.
We'll do more, I promise.
I like how you started this with, this is my best one yet.
I think I just enjoyed the fight scene in this one where they're in the hallway. It's like, I like the music. It was giving me the energy there, and there was cuts because they had to because it was in the close corners.
Honestly,
like,
I had still a lot of issues, a lot of the same issues. The only reason why I think this one is a little bit better than the rest is because it felt like more stuff actually happened.
That definitely happened, yeah.
That's why it gets a couple of extra points, but I'm not really that into it. But anyway, that's Iron Fist episode 4. Let us know what you thought of this one in the comments below. Like and subscribe and all that stuff helps us out. Get us on Twitter at mailed_fuzz for channel updates. Individual Twitters are on the screen for everyday ramblings. Thanks very much for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.